What's up everyone, it's Neon Velocity and I'm back with a new Gears 5 how to play tutorial video where we're talking about how to play the Tactician class in Gears 5 as of Operation 5 leading into Operation 6. So at the time of this video, things are been fairly consistent, however they can change with the new operation that's coming, so please keep in mind the timeline of this video. So it's February 14th, Valentine's Day. I hope that anyone that is watching on Valentine's Day is having a good Valentine's Day, whether you're single or in a relationship. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna keep it at a high level. I don't want to get too much into the weeds. If you have any particular questions, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to answer those, and if I don't know how to answer them, I'll be sure to find the answers for you. So my favorite cards to use in Horde as the Tactician class is going to be, while the class is supposed to be a support role, I like to do a damage role, and the reason for that is just because it's just a great class overall. So the Tactician class is truly built around explosive damage, which is very similar to the Demolition class. However, there are some caveats that I think make this class very unique, and for both that Horde and Escape. Now, these are the 5 cards that I like to run with the checkboxes here, and I'm gonna start with the first and foremost card, which is actually Shredder. Again, explosive hits cause bleeding damage at level 5. It's 27%. So every time you're using explosive weapons such as grenades, drop shot, boom shot, torque bow, those type of weapons, salvo, you're gonna get bleeding damage, and that bleeding damage per hit, it starts stacking up, and it's a lot of damage over time, which is why bleeding is so critical to this build. Also, I like to use the resupply healing module skill card, and the reason that I like to use this because if you're doing overload speedruns in particular, you can actually have the ability to help your teammate stay alive because it's reducing the damage that you're taking, and it also replenishes their health fairly quickly. So it's not a invulnerable trick, but it does help keep the team alive, especially if you're doing master speed runs or overload runs or any type of masters type of run. I also like to use the resupply duration because, again, it doesn't necessarily benefit me, but it does benefit my teammates. So if you have like a Marcus or a veteran or a marksman or something around those lines, you're able to support them as well, and that way your teammates can keep dealing damage while staying next to you and staying alive. So it kind of just works perfectly with the resupply healing module skill card as well. I also like to use the resupply speed loader because it allows the bypass of using active reloads. So you don't necessarily have to use this card. You could actually, in theory, replace this with something else, such as maybe like the resupply amplifier, or maybe cooperation, because then you can mark enemies and deal more damage, or you can just use your resupply and allow the radius to go larger, which means more people can be closer to you and still get the benefit of the resupply. So those are 2 cards that you might want to look at in terms of the resupply speed loader. I guess it really just depends on if you're using a hammerburst build or not. Now, also, going forward, I also like to use the recharge bounty because if you read the description, and it's very, very, very particular to read this, is at level 6, it says 25 seconds of additional ultimate cooldown for anyone who kills your marked target. So if I mark an enemy and then I have a teammate kill them, they get 25 seconds at level 6 off their cooldown for their ultimate ability, which again is a very beneficial role because you're playing the support but the damage dealing role. So you're able to help yourself, but you're also able to help the opposing enemy, or sorry, not the opposing enemy, but your teammates. So while you're killing the enemy. So this is really just a great synchronized build for Horde. I like to use this mainly for overload because you do have the ability to help your teammates and yourself, and you do a lot of damage, but you also get a lot of kills, but you're also helping your teammates, which means you can finish it quicker, and that's the goal when you're doing speed runs or overload. You want to get it done as quick as possible. Well, that's for any really Horde map, and to be honest, but that is the high level way to play the Tactician class. There, like I said, the cooperation card, anytime you mark an enemy, you're increasing the damage of that particular mark if they kill them. Also, the other card that I would like to recommend, however I'm not exactly great about using it, is the modified hammerburst, just because of the fact that when you're using the modified hammerburst, I just think Shredder outperforms it, but there are a lot of people who do like to play more of a support role and not play the Shredder skill card use and rather just use a Hammerburst. But again, you know, there are some mutators out there that say explosive damage reduced, so maybe you swap out Shredder in return for the Hammerburst card. So just keep in mind the situation. I'm assuming that you're not playing with any mutators, so keep that in mind. Now in terms of escape, this is a little bit trickier because I do believe it comes more down to what the actual map is that you're playing, or the hive that you're playing. So what I may be using right here on this screen may not work for every hive. I do have a few videos out there where I've used the Tactician, especially before the Operation 4 and Operation 5 drops, where a lot of the older hives, I have very specific tutorial videos about how to play Tactician, because it was one of the only classes that was really great at escape. But regardless, things don't change too much, but again, you can modify this to what you feel is best. So when you're playing escape, the main two things that change is the Venom boost card now comes into play, which is where anytime you kill an enemy in the Venom, your explosive, or sorry, not your explosive, but your resupply is reduced by a certain percentage or a certain amount of seconds. So at level 4, it's 29 seconds of reduction to your cooldown if you get a kill when you're in the Venom or the Ash, which is really important because then you can get more ammo, because ammo can be hard to find while you're playing escape. Also, then comes in the Venom explosive resupply. Now, you know that I don't use this in Horde, and the reason that you don't have to use this in Horde is because there's actually a perk that you will need to use your ultimate, your power on to level it up. So you in return don't really need to do this, but it does work as a perk in Horde. But in Escape you can't. So what it does is resupply recharges ammos for explosive weapons while in the Venom or Cloud or Ash, and does it 40% faster at level 5. At level 6 it's 50%. So what this is basically saying is anytime you kill enemies while you're in the Venom or Ash, you're going to be able to rejuvenate explosive weapon ammo. So if you have a boom shot or a salvo and you use your resupply, you're able to get a bunch of ammo for those very quickly and be able to almost like spam it if you have the right percentage to go on with this. So again, you're focusing on the Venom here, and this is the way I like to play the Tactician, is playing in the Venom because you get the cooldown reduction from the Venom boost, you get to use your explosive resupply to get more explosive ammo. It doesn't recharge grenades, unfortunately. And then I also like to use the recharge bounty, which basically again doubles up. If you're killing, you're gonna get these you're gonna get your ultimate really quick. So it's like almost a spam situation. Again, where if you kill an enemy that is marked, you get cooldown reduction, but if you don't kill them, your teammates get it. So it does benefit anyone that is in your squad. But then sometimes I like to use the cooperation card, which again, we just talked about this in the Horde section, is it allows you to get extra damage to marked enemies, which can be very helpful. However, it's not a card that I would say you have to run. You could definitely use another card instead of this, such as resupply healing module, or resupply duration, maybe even grenade pouch, depending on the hive. But that is just my high level version of how to play the Tactician. I know there's other ways to play it, but these are the latest I like to play it. So I would like to hear what you guys think, what you guys like to do. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. I'm always down to answer and help out anyone. And again, I appreciate you guys for being here today in this video. I hope that you guys have a great weekend, since it is the weekend at the time of this video. But regardless, if you're new here, make sure that you hit the like, subscribe, and bell notifications for when future videos get uploaded to the channel. And I will see you in the next video.